Hello, good evening, and welcome to tonight's big match, Monday night match live between Crystal Palace and Liverpool, which comes from Selhurst Park. We will change the title of it from the Clarets match to the Monday match. We are live, so I will change the title during the broadcast for you so that you don't get confused. But we are live for the Monday night match, and it's me, John Stuttard, presenting tonight because we've got Russ Vernon in a little bit, who's at Selhurst Park ready to commentate on us, and we'll bring him in just a few moments or two. But I'd like to just start tonight, or basically dedicate the first 10-15 minutes of the programme tonight to pay tribute to Jimmy McIlroy. The former Burnley midfielder has passed away today, aged 86. So let's have a look at some of the tributes that have been pouring in for him. In fact, let me just remind you how he came about. He played 497 games for the Clarets between 1950 and 1962. He made 55 appearances for Northern Ireland and scored 10 goals. He won the first division. He helped the Clarets win the first division back in 1960, and also helped them reach the quarterfinals of the European Cup in 1960-61, and got Burnley to the 1962 FA Cup final, which they lost, of course, to Spurs. The Burnley Football Club have said they're deeply saddened to learn the death of our greatest ever player, and I don't usually use this word very often to describe people, but we often say legend, even to people when we're alive. He wasn't a legend. He was an icon. He was one of the most iconic players in Burnley Football Club's history, and I don't think anybody would argue with that. The club statement went on to describe McIlroy as a giant of a man, and added the thoughts of everyone connected with this football club, with his family and friends at this sad time. And no doubt that goes for everybody here from the JB Claret YouTube channel, Russ, Chris Whiteman, myself, and everybody else that works on this channel. We all wish them all the best. Now, McIlroy started his career at Glentoran in Northern Ireland back in 1949. He moved to England with Burnley back in 1950. He actually went on to score 131 goals in his Burnley career, as at a time really that the club described as their very golden age. Having won the league in 1960, the Clarets of course reached the European Cup quarterfinals before losing 5-4 to Hamburg, and the following season they won. They missed out on a double when they finished runners-up in both the First Division and FA Cup runners-up. After leaving Burnley, rather controversially, in 1962, McIlroy then went on to Stuttard, where he made 116 league appearances, and then went on to play for Oldham and retired from playing in 1967. He was appointed Oldham manager in 65, but left in 1968, and he took charge of Bolton in 1970. He did play in the World Cup 1958. They were captained by Danny Branchwell. They were beaten 4-0 by France. And of course, Burnley have a stand named after him, Jimmy McIlroy, and he was given a testimonial by Burnley back in 2009. In 2011, he was made an MBE for services to football and a charity, but he decided to receive the honour at his adopted home of Turf Moor instead of travelling down to Buckingham Palace. That's loyalty for you. In the years following his retirement from football, he worked as a writer for the Burnley Express, which is a local newspaper in Burnley. So I've got a few tributes here already. Northern Ireland manager Michael O'Neill described McIlroy as a hugely talented footballer and a fantastic person. Anybody who met him was struck by his warmth, his humility, and his passion for football. Jimmy will be sadly missed, but what he achieved on the pitch for Northern Ireland will always be remembered. The Irish Football Association, David Martin, the president, says everyone at the association and in the Northern Ireland football family are saddened to hear the death of Jimmy McIlroy. He was one of the greatest ever players to come from our country, and he was of course one of the heroes in the 1958 World Cup squad. He was also a gentleman and will certainly be missed. Stoke has also tweeted saying that they're saddened to learn the death of Jimmy McIlroy at the age of 86, and of course he won the second division title with Stoke. And Oldham of course have made a statement to learn of the passing of Jimmy McIlroy as well. Also, in an interview with the local Belfast paper some 10 years ago, McIlroy said he turned down lucrative offers to move away from Burnley, including one from Sampdoria. He actually said the Italian club's manager met him on the morning of the 62 Cup final, which the Chorus lost 3-1 to Tottenham, and he promised me all sorts. A villa overlooking the Mediterranean, an international school for my children, wages was way beyond what I was getting in England. McIlroy then went on to say, but when I got back to the hotel and told my wife, she said to me, why would I want to leave Burnley? Why would you want to leave Burnley for? I even got a chance to go to South America, River Plate at Argentina. When he went on with Stoke there, again I rang my wife and she said, sure, but would we want to leave? Why would we want to leave Burnley for? I've never regretted it. From the moment I arrived, it felt like home, and it has been home. So that's Jimmy McIlroy. Let me bring in commentator for tonight, Russ Vernon. Russ, can you hear me?
I can hear you, JB. How you doing, mate?
Thank you, Russ. Really, now, Russ, you've obviously know about this, and we've grown up listening to our grandfathers. Me and you, we're a similar age, obviously. Being taught Jimmy McIlroy. I used to go around to my uncle's house when I was younger, and he used to tell me stories about Jimmy McIlroy and the Burnley side all conquering. Did any of your older members talk about Jimmy McIlroy, the player and the man, to you? And what are your overriding thoughts and reactions to today's news?
Well, when I first heard about the news earlier today, JB, I was shocked and saddened to hear that a great footballer who used to play for Burnley had sadly passed away. They say he was a fantastic footballer and he played some tremendous football and was an all-round footballing hero for a lot of the people I spoke to. I listened to a few people earlier today, the number of the people you mentioned, and a few people who were phoning up local radios and national radios with their tributes and what all warming tributes brought in. And with you being a Burnley fan, JB, what is your memories and did your people say to you about the former Burnley man?
Well, to be honest with you, Russ, I mean, as I said just now, I remember going around to my uncle's house many years ago. He was a Burnley fan. He went to the 62 Cup final and that. And he told me all sorts of stories. I've watched videos and clips of the Burnley side in Europe. And McIlroy was just unplayable. You had the likes of Baden Blacklow in goal. You had Brian Miller, staunch claret through and through. You had the likes of Brian Pilkington, Jimmy Robson, John Kennelly. Although people try to pronounce it as Connolly, but it was John Kennelly. He made his home in the town as well. A lot of these Burnley players actually stayed in the town. Stan Turner joined around about the same time as well, although a little bit later. But Jimmy McIlroy was a tremendous player, a tremendous gentleman as well. I mean, to me, I don't use the word icon too much, Russ, but in this case, you have to use the word icon for Jimmy McIlroy because he was, he was a terrific player. And you know what? I was thinking today, Russ, and I wanted to talk about this to you. I mean, if Jimmy McIlroy was playing in today's market, how much do you think he would be worth? I would say about 70 to 80 million pounds. What do you think would his net value be worth? Because he'd be around about that 70 to 80 million pound mark because, in his day, he was a very gifted player, surely.
Yes, he was, JB, and to be honest, I must have to agree with you. We'd be worth on about that much in today's market for me as well, and I think from all his family in the friends, they're going to be missing him quite a bit, and I think a lot of Burnley fans and players who played with him will be remembering the good times, and I think a lot of players will be playing some memories and telling their grandchildren some memories from the time playing with him, and I think he's going to be a fantastic start and a fantastic memory, should I say, for the players who played with him who are still here, and those players and fans who watched him grow up. And it'd be interesting to see what some of the players who are playing now, or some of the past players like Danny Higginbottom and players like that who played in the Premier League in the past, who are now going to be pundits, what their memories are of Jimmy McIlroy.
Sorry, right. Thank you very much, Russ. Sorry about that. Just me to mess it up. But thank you very much for your tribute tonight, and shall we join you in something like 3 or 4 minutes time in time for the kick-off of tonight's main event, Crystal Palace against Liverpool in the Premier League. Right, and also you can also pay your own tributes tonight, guys. The comment section's open for business as usual for all our live matches. So during the match, pay your tributes to. If you want to pay your tributes to Jimmy McIlroy, all you've got to do is. Again, we're going to use the hashtags again. I've got to get people into the habit of hashtags, so I want you to do 2 hashtags for me tonight. Hashtag JBLive, and if you're going to put a Jimmy McIlroy tribute in, please put hashtag Jimmy Mac. Joe. That's JIMMYMAC. Okay, so if you want to do that and pay your respects to the late great Jimmy McIlroy. I say great, I use the word. A lot of people use the word great and legend loosely, but it's very rare that you hear me say an icon, and Jimmy McIlroy was an icon, and as Russ and everyone else will echo, our thoughts and prayers are with the McIlroy family. And also what I also failed to mention as well, that he was given the freedom of the town of Burnley some 8 years ago as well. But our respects to Jimmy McIlroy, who's passed away at the age of 86. And when we finish tonight's programme, we'll play a little montage of Jimmy McIlroy, and we'll give him the last word on what has been an emotional day at Burnley Football Club today. Right. As Jimmy McIlroy would say, I'm sure Jimmy Mac wouldn't want us to be too upset. As I say, you can put your tributes up there, and as I said, hashtag if you can tonight, hashtag Jimmy Mac. You know the drill by now. Right, let's get on with the game tonight, and it's a crackaroonie we've got for you tonight, that is for sure. We've got Crystal Palace and Liverpool, 2 teams that have performed that have had terrific games between each other over the years. Who can forget the 3-3 back in 2014? That was something very special, and denied Liverpool the title then. But tonight it's a different feeling. Panini's gone for Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 6. Salah to score the hat-trick. 500 to 1. My stake £1. Well, you could win a sizable sum if they win 6-0. I don't think Liverpool will keep a clean sheet tonight. I think Crystal Palace, I tell you something, Crystal Palace, I saw them play Fulham last week and I thought they were absolutely superb. So never be too sure. I think you're hoping for miracles there, but we'll just have to wait and see. A little bit more news. Karius is going to join Besiktas on loan from Liverpool, and of course we're going to do a little special feature, myself and Russ, after the match tonight, on the problems at Manchester United. As you gathered yesterday, Manchester United were humiliated 3-2 yesterday against Brighton at the Amex Stadium. I want to spend the last 10 minutes of that in greater detail. So we're almost all set to go at a floodlit Selhurst Park. Both teams are in the tunnel, and as soon as they hit the field and the atmosphere comes out, we'll be handing over to RV in the commentary position. But I have to say, I'm really looking forward to this game. Final game of the weekend, and it's the first commentary, in fact. That I'm not doing this season. So Russ, after a couple of aborted opportunities, he's going to get his chance tonight, and he's been telling me off air he's been looking forward to this all day. So the team's in the tunnel. There's referee Michael Oliver of County Durham. He's going to be the man in charge tonight. Liverpool in a very fetching away strip tonight. They're in a They're in an old grey and darkish grey away strip, so that could be an interesting one. I remember Manchester United going to Southampton in grey and ended up losing 6-3, but I don't know what odds you get on Liverpool losing 6-3 tonight here at Selhurst. Well, the teams are on their way. It's a very narrow tunnel at Selhurst Park. The cheerleaders are out in force, fully clothed, of course, and don't tell me it's a sexist remark, please. All right, in. But here we are. We're at we're almost ready for kick-off. And to talk you through the first half and firstly the team news, let's hand over to Russ Vernon, who's at Selhurst Park, to talk you through the first half, and you'll hear from me again at half-time. So it's over to you, RV, for the first half.
Thank you, JB. And yes, the teams are just coming out onto the field, ready to go underway there here at Selhurst Park for what's going to be an enthralling encounter. That's for sure for me. So then, we'll start off with the team news. And the first team news today will be the hosts, and that is Crystal Palace. So it's Wayne Hennessy in goal, and Biaska, Tompkins, Sacco, the former Liverpool man, and Van Aanholt across the back. And Ross Townsend, the former Leeds loanee, on the right, with Schlupp on the left, with Milovic and MacArthur in the midfield centre. And up front is Christian Benteke, and the man who's been in form and been linked with a few clubs during this transfer window, Wilfred Zaha. I'll give you the subs bench in a moment for Crystal Palace, but the starting lineup for Liverpool, they're going to line up with 4-3-3. Is Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. Excuse me, your back four. The midfield trio of Commentator, Gini Wijnaldum, and the former Leeds man and captain tonight for Liverpool, James Milner. Mohamed Salah, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane lead the line. The two substitutes benches then for Crystal Palace, first off, is Vincent Greta, Joel Ward, Max Meyer, Cheku Kiate, the former West Ham man, Alexander Sloth, Jordan Ayew, Martin Kelly is also your Palace substitute. As for Liverpool, is Simon Mignolet, the goalkeeper, Jordan Henderson, Daniel Sturridge, Alberto Moreno, Adam Lallana, Jajang Shaqiri and Joel Matip makes up the Liverpool subs bench. I just want to say a very good evening to Kevin, who is a Crystal Palace fan by the looks of this. Hope you're doing alright, Kevin, tonight. And Panini, as JB mentioned, says Crystal Palace and Liverpool 6. Salah to score an hat-trick, 500 to 1 is stake a pound. So good luck to you, Panini. But I don't think that'll come in. I think Palace, like JB, will get the first. We'll get to a goal tonight, should I say, not the first goal, because Liverpool may get the first goal, but Palace will get the goals back and go on to win this game. The teams are still out on the field, game ready to go underway here in Selhurst Park. Hopefully you enjoy the full match commentary. Remember guys, the hashtag for your man of the match this evening is JB MOTM. Get that in as well. Get your bit later on, I'll let you know when the lines are open for that one. You can get in touch with your comments on the game as well. And Panini says he won £238 and 36p on Saturday. Congratulations. He says, damn, Liverpool's away shirt are a sight for sore eyes. They are indeed, but I'm going to try and do my best to keep an eye on it and see who has positioned well. As Liverpool kick off, attacking the goal to my left in this first half, and Robertson picks up the early ball. He has the ball back now into Virgil van Dijk, and he plays the ball across to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was in the Liverpool squad last season majority of the time, and He was in the England World Cup squad. Van Dijk plays it back out wide to him, and he's played it down the line to Keita, to Salah, back to Alexander-Arnold once again, and he now feeds it to Joe Gomez. Back to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk plays the ball over the top, looking for Salah on that wing. He cuts it inside, and it's cut out there by Mihajlovic to Van Arnold. Mihajlovic plays it, but gives it straight to Alexander-Arnold. He's coming forward on this right-hand side. Far side as I'll sit here and look. But now Crystal Palace on the attack with Slope. Down the line is Townsend. Townsend, who's come across to this side here, and he's played the ball inside, but they've lost to Crystal Palace. Looked like a foul to me, but not given. And Keita trying to play the ball forward. Wijnaldum, well, it's Firmino, sorry, helps out wide to James McIlroy, Liverpool captain. Into Firmino. Now Alexander-Arnold, back to Gomez. Gomez controlling the ball well, and it's with Wijnaldum. Back to Van Dijk, and he plays it down the line into Andy Robertson. Robertson controls well. Good challenge there by Wan-Bissaka. And he's won the throw-in as well here. I thought he'd come off the Crystal Palace right back, but obviously not, as Crystal Palace have possession with the throw. As Jurgen Klopp stands with his arms folded on the touchline as the ball flicked on by Benteke up towards Zaha, who's now picked up possession. Zaha, he plays the ball out wide to Van Arnold. Van Arnold down the outside of Liverpool there into Slope. He gets it back to Van Arnold, and he turns away from Mo Salah. Back into Tompkins, and he's now McArthur. McArthur out wide to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka now coming forward. It's controlled well by the Crystal Palace, and he's almost given away there to Mo Salah. They are doing some good defending early on here, Crystal Palace. Van Arnold picks the ball up, coming forward into Zaha. Zaha with the ball out wide, looking for Townsend, who's controlled it well. But then Robertson intercepts him, and now Mane plays the ball to Salah, who's got Saka for company. Salah goes for goal, shot blocked by Saka, sorry, and then it's given away by Crystal Palace, isn't it? No, they've run it back momentarily, and there's a foul there. And there's a free kick foul on Jeffrey Slupp, who cuts inside, and Crystal Palace can have a bit of breathing space there. I just want to say, very good evening to Mike Ornament, my good friend. He's listening to the commentary this evening. Hope you're doing alright, Mike. Thank you very much for tuning in to this live commentary. It's Crystal Palace did the ball up towards Slupp. It was Benteke then. Slupp's going now back into Benteke. He's giving possession away. Battling if is Firmino. Firmino takes away from one. And the ball through towards Mane, was too much on that from by Firmino, and he runs through to the goalkeeper, Wayne Hennessy. Glad, Mike, you're doing well. If you want to get in contact with the show by your thoughts on the game, get in contact using the hashtag JBLive. That's JBLive. As Crystal Palace take on Liverpool here at SLS Park, is Wijnaldum to Van Dijk. Van Dijk coming forward. He's just inside the Liverpool off. Spreads it out wide, and he's logged down the line. He goes into Alexander-Arnold, back into Milner, and now is Gomez across to Van Dijk. Van Dijk controlling well, and balls out wide now to Andy Robertson. Robertson, inside it goes. Forward to Marley from the help of Wijnaldum. Out wide it goes now to Alexander-Arnold on the far side. He whips the ball in, and it's too much on that, and goes out of play for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. 0-0 is the score. It's all good here, Mike, as I watch this game. In the commentary position, Crystal Palace taking on Liverpool. Last season, Crystal Palace finished 11th, won 11 games in the Premier League. Roy Hodgson, the man in charge, the former England man, has managed Liverpool for the first half of 2010-2011 season. Wonder if you can get one over of his former clubs. Wayne Hennessy kicks forward. The Welshman kicks forward and straight out of play, and Liverpool will have a throw deep inside their half. And it's over the top into Keita. Keita finishing on the shift, but then he loses out to MacArthur, back Vernon out into Tompkins, then he's now back to MacArthur, now down the line it goes. Lovely bit of interplay there from Crystal Palace as Al wins the throw. Will he take it himself? No, he's going to leave it to the left back. Vernon out. Palace are hoping to get the win tonight, and both run change from last week, and Schlupp comes in late there on a challenge, and it's still 0-0. We've played 6 minutes. Here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0. As Gomez picks up the loose ball. Here's Van Dijk. Back into Gomez. He's out wide with Milner. Milner coming forward. Here's a bit of Gomez now. Gomez with the ball over out wide here to Robertson. Did he keep the ball in play? No. And it's out for a throw to Crystal Palace. Inside their own half. On this near side as I watch this play. From high up here in the country. As he's flicked on by Benteke, but only as far as Milner. Towards Salah, but he's cut out by Mihailovic to Alexander-Arnold in towards the penalty areas. Coming back to the England youngster. Here's Andy Robertson. Out wide now to Keita. Keita on the edge of the penalty area. Back to Robertson. He tries to play down the line to Mane, but it's cut out by Andros Townsend. Now Virgil van Dijk into Gomez. Gomez out wide it goes, and it's now with Milner down the line into Salah. Salah into Firmino, back towards Salah, given away, and Crystal Palace will now look to break over halfway. And can they do that as they try to play in Andros Townsend, but Van Dijk's across there to cover, and it's out of play for a throw to Crystal Palace on the left hand side. When we have a big break in play, I'll get my first drink of the evening. Not a drink yet since I got here to Selhurst Park. Keita now brings possession forward into Wijnaldum, and now he's out wide to Robertson. Robertson controlling possession. Here's Wijnaldum once more. Van Dijk back to Wijnaldum. Now Robertson again. Wijnaldum again. Taking good control, and it's now with Gomez. Gomez controlling well into Virgil van Dijk. Now is with Wijnaldum, and now it's Andy Robertson. Now it's Sadio Mane. Takes it from MacArthur, and then Mihailovic, and then Schlupp, but gives it to Gomez. Back out wide now to Alexander-Arnold. Back to Gomez, who can play in that right back position where he looks like he's playing with Alexander-Arnold further forward. Robertson further forward on this side with Van Dijk pushing out wide. Milner now down the line for Robertson. Back to Robertson, and he runs back to Van Dijk, and then Robertson again. Van Dijk controls it well. He's Wijnaldum. Out wide to Gomez, but he gives possession away to Saka, the former Liverpool man. Now there's a ball over the top looking for Christian Benteke, another former Liverpool man in the Crystal Palace side. They've got two in there. Both unchanged from last week's game side. That ball comes forward aimlessly there. Alexander-Arnold straight into the arms of Hennessy. Yes, Crystal Palace moving again. It's Sacco. Across to Tompkins. Controlling the possession well. Into MacArthur. Out wide to Wan-Bissaka. Russ coming forward. Lovely run. Back heels it to Townsend. Now MacArthur. To Sacco. Crystal Palace playing a bit of key ball to try and get force an opening. They're waiting patiently to get that opening, but we'll be able to do that. Wan-Bissaka coming forward. Sacco 80 appearances in all competitions for Liverpool between 2013 and 17. Some stats there about some former players against their former clubs, and the manager against one of the former clubs as well. As Vernon comes away, gives possession away to Keita. Keita back to Leonard, keep on position for Liverpool. He's Firmino. Alright to Alexander-Arnold. Down the line he goes to Salah. who is in offside position, and we'll continue with the commentary. I was about to get a quick jingle there, but the commentary's still ongoing at the moment because the ball's not going to have play for a long period of time, or stoppage for a long period of time as Liverpool trying to defend high up to keep Crystal Palace penned in. There's Tompkins to Nelovic to Saka at the back. Play the ball forwards up there to the O's, nowhere to McCarthy. Well, it was to Slub, and then McCarthy now has possession into Townsend. It's cut in from the right side onto his left. Benteke, brilliant bit of football there from Crystal Palace, but then that ball from Benteke was cut out, and then the pass was almost cut out from Ronaldo, and it's now Keita coming forward for Liverpool. He's out wide to Sadio Mane. Can he get the shot away? No. He has to play it on the outside for Robertson, across the face of goal. And Hennessy dives out to claim it. Great bit of play there. And it's still Crystal Palace, no Liverpool, no. That's the best chance for Liverpool in this first half for me. Great bit of play from Keita into Mane, out wide to Robertson, who drew the low across the face of goal. And Crystal Palace keeper saves it. 0-0 score, 12 minutes gone. I'm just going to take a quick break for a glass of water. I'm now back with you. Not missed anything as Mane picks up the possession almost near side. He's robbed of possession though. It's Townsend. Biasco's turned Robertson well. He's running a Robertson now. Mane's trying to get back. We're still going from Biasco. Now it's Townsend. Trying to play Biasco again. But Robertson's there to intercept and cover. And it's back to Alisson. Benteke closing him down. Gomez. Ronaldo now. Liverpool trying to play out from the back. They like what Leeds United do at the moment. Trying to get the ball. Play out from the back. Leeds almost got themselves in trouble on Saturday. But we're not here to talk about Leeds tonight. Talk about Crystal Palace and Liverpool. It's Van Dijk across to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he now plays it to Gomez. Ronaldo coming forward, is he? No, he plays it forward instead to Robertson. And plays it inside to Keita, into Mane. Now is Firmino's come back. And now is our way with Alexander-Arnold, who whips the ball in. Cleared away. Ball is first Miller. Back into the penalty. Punch from the AFC. Salah, but Crystal Palace looking to play now, can they? No. We'll put all in the mound. Gomez. They get a book in here, Joe Gomez. For a tug back. And Mike says, prediction for me tonight will be 3-1 Liverpool. I also fancy them for the title as well. It'll be hard not to finish and have City Black, and they have the quality. Cheers for your prediction, Mike. And yeah, they do look a good strong outfit so far, even though this is only their second game in the Premier League this season. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0 is the score. Ball flicked on, up towards the Arbors, cleared away by Mir, towards Mihailovic, and now McCarthy, now Keita. No, we're now done with possession. Can he play the ball out wide to Robertson? Yes. He gets the badges, he only just. So Liverpool keep possession only just so as McCarthy tried to nip in there. He's now done back to Gomez. It's out wide now, and here's Trent Alexander-Arnold coming forward will by Liverpool. Passing around at the back at the moment. Here's Van Dijk. Keita. Here's Robertson now. Back to Keita once more. Keita controlling possession well and is coming forward. Here's Mane. Mane cuts inside. Lovely cross-field pass. He's out wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Off far side. He plays it back to Gomez. Liverpool yet to find an opening. This opening 15 minutes. Goalkeeper's yet to have a save to make. apart from that good cross ball in. But that's the best chance of either side to come try and gain a goal. It was Trent Alexander-Arnold's forced back to Gomez. Will he be forced further back? He's forced back to Wijnaldum, who can turn and then feed up to Van Dijk, was playing virtually an holding defender on the halfway line, and he's got back from Milner after a pass from Robertson to Milner, that was, and he's now spilled the ball out wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold is coming forward, is Van Dijk to Milner. Out wide to Robertson. Back into James Milner, the former Leeds United man. Back with Robertson, and he's out of play there from Andy Robertson, so I can... Yes, if you want to get in contact with me, use @RussLive. But the hashtag is, for your predictions and everything, is hashtag JB11. For any questions to me, @RussLive. And like Panini used, and he says, Russ Live, Leeds have started well in the Championship, but will they finish well? That is a very good question. We haven't done in the past few seasons, but we'll see how this season pans out, and we'll get your Jimmy Mac tribute very, very soon. I'll read some more of the comments very soon. Is Robertson now into Wijnaldum? He plays it to Gomez, and now to Salah, back to Alexander-Arnold. Gomez once more, across to Robertson, and he plays the ball down the line. Sadio Mane. Oh, lovely one from Mane. He's from Biaskin, and he wins a... Biaskin wins a goal kick here. I'm very surprised by this. I thought it was a corner. As he got away firstly from Townsend, and then Wan-Bissaka, but does he win the ball out to play himself? No, Wan-Bissaka plays it onto Mane. Clever bit of defending there. I thought it was going to be a corner after a brilliant play from Mane. Wan-Bissaka does well to play it on to the Liverpool man, and he goes behind for the goal kick. Oh, we read some more of your comments out very, very soon. Get your hashtags in JB Live for the actual commentary and thoughts on the game. @RussLive if you've got a question for me, and hashtag RussLive if you've got a question for me, and I'll get them sorted for you. Or hashtag Jimmy Mac for late Jimmy McIlroy, who sadly passed away earlier today. Well, there's a breaking play there. This shows you a replay from this last Liverpool attack, which Keita gave the ball away, and then he won it back, and then Salah lost possession. Kevin Benson says, just reading about Jimmy Mac at the moment, didn't realise he was an icon. What an icon he was with the Clarets. Rest in peace, Jimmy Mac. A sad day for the club. I agree with what Panini says here. Robertson, a very decent all-working cover. A lot of regrets, one of the players to watch this season. I too, Sophia. Hope you're doing alright. I'm doing fine here in the commentary box. Mike, I'll get to your question in a moment. But Wijnaldum's having to do some defending here as Crystal Palace trying to gain behind Liverpool there, but Milner, can he help him out with that defending? Yes, he does. Up towards halfway where Saka just beats Salah, and then he's forward. Gomez has possession. Slub trying to close him down, but then it's played across to Robertson. I'll get some more of your questions very, very soon. As Van Dijk plays it to Robertson. Robertson controls well. Here's Keita. Keita to Van Dijk, and now to Gomez. Up towards halfway, another halfway into the path of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Back into the Liverpool half for Gomez. Klopp's not happy with something over on that far side of the touchline, but wonder what that was. I think it was They went backwards. But sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards. As Mane picks up possession, spreads the ball out wide from left to right to Alexander-Arnold, who's attacking Arnold, and he puts the ball in towards Mane. He goes in, does it? Yes, and Liverpool have scored! Sadio Mane! Oh, it's been disallowed. Foul on anything, but yeah, every right to challenge for that ball. And he goes in, but it's disallowed. It was his own man who actually fouled him first, which made him drop the ball onto Mane and going to the back of the net. But it looks like it's a foul is being given on Wayne Ellis. It was for his own man, so we still remain goalless here. Also under Emre so far, up in a couple of games. I think it's a bit early to judge the Emre, and also the moment Mike asked me when you've played about 10 games, 2 games is a bit too much. Well, come back to me after about 10 games and I'll let you know my thoughts then. But here's Robertson coming over halfway. Lovely control into Firmino. Lovely chance from Mihailovic to get off Firmino. And now Benteke tries to play in Zaha. Cuts out there by Alexander-Arnold. Back to Alisson Becker, the goalkeeper. And clever bit of play from Nebuchadnezzar to get away from little Townsend, I think he was. And the ball's over the top for Salah. Lovely control from Salah over the top. Robertson over the bar as well. You really need to put that much power onto it. But what a bit of play there from Kiet to get away from Andros Townsend. And then Salah in the offside trap. He's onside. Could have took it down, took it round to the keeper, and then shot, because I don't think Saka would have gone back in time there. Well, that was a great chance for Liverpool to open the scoring. Still 0-0 here though. What a play from Nebuchadnezzar. Here's this one. I agree, man. Liverpool getting on top in this one so far. Hope you're doing fine, guys. By the way, I'm Russ, your match commentator tonight. Russ Vernon in the commentary box here at Celeste Sport for JB Clara YouTube channel. As Liverpool coming forward, it's Keita. Lovely run now from Keita. Can he get a shot away? He's on the edge of the penalty. Keita still going. Challenged by Mihailovic. And now Slop can pick up and run up Liverpool, but not for the very longest. McCarthy now picks up after the challenge there from Alexander-Arnold. McCarthy comes forward. Then an out. Saka, Tompkins, Hennessy. Good bit of football this from both sides. And so far, both going for the opening goal. I think we're going to see a lively one. I don't think Liverpool's going to win by the 6-0 scoreline with Salah to get an hat-trick, like Panini said, but you never know. I think stranger things have happened in football. Like Crystal Palace on the attack now with Townsend. Lovely run here now. He strikes a goal off the crossbar. Blocked by Alexander-Arnold and wide for a corner. Great effort there from Andros Townsend. I thought that was in as soon as he left his build. But the Woodward comes to Liverpool's rescue there. And how unlucky. Oh, Liverpool here. From not going behind. Crystal Palace very lucky. I mean, Liverpool very lucky. Crystal Palace unlucky. As that was almost one of the goals of the season for me here. He scored 2 goals and 7 assists in 36 appearances last season in Townsend. As that Mihailovic's corner was 2-0. Alisson Becker throws the ball out, and Liverpool will now look to break as they played a clever ball, did Trent Alexander-Arnold into Mane. Here's Milner. Back to Alexander-Arnold. Inside the penalty area. Crossing towards Mane and Firmino. Cleared away by Crystal Palace up towards halfway. Where Van Dijk will pick up. Down the line to Robertson. Back into Van Dijk. He controls well for Gomez. To cross now with Milner. Down the line it goes into Alexander Arnold. Back into Milner now. And now it's Gomez. Robertson. Good start this game. Firmino comes out wide. Ball towards Keita, flick towards Salah, cleared away by Vernon. Good defending from Crystal Palace there. Liverpool's almost in. As Trent Alexander-Arnold picks up again on that far side. As I look here from the commentary boxes, Miller back out wide there to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Down the line it goes and it's deflected out for a throw. Good start this, good pace in this game. Still 0-0. We played 26, almost 26 and a half minutes. Robertson out wide. Lovely control. Robertson. Inside it goes. Milner. Gomez. Alexander-Arnold. Firmino. Salah. He goes away from his man. Salah shoots. It's Mane coming to Keita. Shot saved by Anderson behind for a corner. Great bit of play there from Liverpool. Salah involved. Firmino as well. Shot blocked by his own man from Salah's effort. Comes to Keita and calls down the back off thanks to brilliant goalkeeping from Wayne Hennessy. Good start to this game. Wijnaldum and those players forward from the back. Van Dijk up there. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold with the corner. Towards the back post and the back across. But Tompkins can help Liverpool. Stop Liverpool from scoring here, can he? Yes, it's the R's running out of play. And it was a free kick. I'm not sure, to be honest, Mike. It all depends on who gets the first goal and how well the opposition reacts to this. Because you saw yesterday from Brighton, well, majority of the game I saw from the Brighton game yesterday, Brighton looked dominant from start to finish. So it's pretty hard to predict these Premier League games this season as is fouled by Trent Alexander-Arnold, Michael Oliver, the match referee, giving Crystal Palace the free kick here. Yeah, that is a shock there, Panini. I'll mention that in a few moments as we're focusing on this Crystal Palace game at this moment in time. Kevin Benson says, oh yeah, very good shot from Townsend. Need to be more lucky if we are to survive this one. As Firmino plays the ball out wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Gomez. Wijnaldum. Robertson. Mane. Through the legs of Townsend. Lambiaska stood up to him and defended it well. And clears up towards halfway, but there's no Crystal Palace player forward. Game involved use the hashtag JBLive. And also, a question for me, hashtag Russ live. Also, if you've prediction or anything like that, I'll tell you how to, for your man of the match about how you can get that in like a bit later on in the programme. But here's Benteke for Crystal Palace up against Virgil van Dijk. Does well, does Benteke. Inside there to Townsend. Townsend. Across to Slupp. Strike from distance and just wide. Decent effort from Jeffrey Slupp. As we almost get to the half-hour mark. That would have been a great time for Palace to score there. Just striking his shot wide. In the end, did Jeffrey Slupp, the former Leicester man. And it's still 0-0. Yes, two shocks mentioned. Solihull Moors in the National League first of all. In the top 6 after 5 games, 10 points and they were the favourites for relegation. And in the Football League, Stevenage are third in League 2 and unbeaten in the first 3 league games. That's going to be a... Yes, I agree, Mike, considering the changeover in pre-season, as the ball was up towards Milner. Liverpool could get caught out of the back here. And that's a brilliant challenge from Joe Gomez to stop. Not getting away, Bears. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold keeps the ball in for Liverpool. Race back to do well there, as now trying to get there for Crystal Palace. As now Robertson has possession just over the halfway line. Goes back into his own half to Van Dijk, into Milner. Out wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold once again. Down the line he goes in towards Salah even. I almost said Leroy Sané there. Probably thinking about the Man City game yesterday against Huddersfield, which was a fantastic performance by Manchester City, I must say. But back to the football here, as Virgil van Dijk controlling possession. He's got the ball out wide to Robertson. Robertson inside to Mane. Mane controlling well. Mane does well. He's out wide. There, lovely bit of footwork from Milner. Into Trent Alexander-Arnold, into Firmino, flicks towards Mane. We can't pick up as Crystal Palace do an excellent bit of defending once more. Robertson for Keita. Robertson continues doing on the outside. Keita goes inside to Wijnaldum. Tries to play out wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold. And that is out of play for a throw there, which Trent Alexander-Arnold takes. Back to Gomez, into Virgil van Dijk. All the Liverpool outfield players are inside the Crystal Palace half at this moment in time. They're playing like Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds are playing at the moment. Everyone up inside the position of high intensity football. So that ball is in towards and Mane there, but NSC comes out to claim there. So Milner put that ball in. Good start this. Yeah, it looked like it, Panini, from the highlights I saw and from the goals I saw as well, mate, but it just depends now how Man City and Liverpool respond to that result from Man City yesterday, should I say. Trent Alexander-Arnold plays it down line for Milner. Into Wijnaldum to Robertson. Now Keita coming forward. Never Keita to Robertson. Firmino. Is Robertson once more. Coming forward. Keita. Firmino. Controlling well. Wijnaldum out wide. Lovely touch from Alexander-Arnold. Further out wide it goes to Milner. Puts the ball in towards Salah. Who's onside. Salah chips it back in towards Firmino. Corrigan comes to Andy Robertson over the ball. He was leaning back, always going over there. But fantastic bit of play there from Liverpool. In the offside trap, hit him in his face, and then comes to Andy Robertson, who was leaning back, and that ball was always going over there. Still 0-0. Coming up towards the final 10 minutes of this first half. Been a very even game. Yes, I've not seen much of their performances this season, Tattoo Terrier, but that's a very good shout. Know where they are in the league table though, because I've followed the Championship quite closely with me being a Leeds United supporter. As we've got possession well here. Is Alexander-Arnold to Gomez. Van Dijk. Keita. Robertson. Keita once more. Van Dijk again. Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool just passed it from one side to the other, and then back again. Now Salah. Firmino. Alexander-Arnold. Gomez. Van Dijk. Keita. Robertson. Keita again. Robertson again. Brilliant bit of football. Mane. Lovely touch here. Keita. Lovely bit of playing towards the penalty area, but he's too much on that, and he goes out of play for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. 0-0 is the score. Yes, I've got your message, Absolute Anonymous. Thank you for getting involved. There's the R coming forward for Crystal Palace. I'll read your message in a moment. Your tribute to Jimmy Mac. There, if not I do, then JB will at half time. So stay with us during half time. We'll have JB doing the live half-time news while I take a quick break before the second half recommences, should I say. Wambiaska's in behind. A shot ball straight across the face of goal. No one there for Crystal Palace. Vernon picks up the loose ball on the far side. Lovely ball in, headed away, headed back to Wambiaska. Now it's McCarthy. Can he get a shot away? No, but Firmino plays out wide to Alexander-Arnold, who's giving away to Vernon there, and he's cleared up field, and Saka, should I say, not Saka. Don't know why, but keep calling. Mamadou Saka for some reason tonight. As is Wan-Bissaka coming forward. We'll cut out there as Liverpool coming forward is Robertson towards Firmino, giving away to Tompkins with a throw to Liverpool now. It's Milner. Yes, Keita's does Milner's pass and then picked off by Townsend. Slope. Zaha. That's a slope. Back over the top of Alexander-Arnold to Zaha. As Townsend down the line, has he given him too much to do? Yes, we did well to put a block on his. Ends up forcing Liverpool to give possession back as Zaha now has it once again. Trying to do a back heel that I did. Zaha. No foul there on by Zaha. On Zaha. As Robertson comes over the halfway line for Liverpool on this near side. As I watch into Keita there. Here's Mane. Cross the goal and he's high and wide. Then I'll just read this message from Absolute Anonymous. He says, hashtag JB Love, hashtag Jimmy Mac. Rest in peace to a legend of Burnley Football Club. I'm quite aware of Jimmy's life, but I'm not quite aware of Jimmy's life or the messages he has received today shows how he must have been some football person who will be sadly missed around Burnley and footballers at all. Rest in peace, Jimmy Mac. Absolutely echo those sentiments. They're absolutely anonymous. Thank you for getting involved tonight. Not a very good result for your under-23s today though, was it? Tattoo Terror, should I say, from the under-23s. As Leeds United beat them by a goal to nil thanks to Alfie McAlmont. With the effort just before half time as Reaching towards Tompkins on the back post. But Liverpool headed clear. And then, just as Ronaldo were trying to break, put his arms around Townsend and gives Crystal Palace a chance to keep the players forward and get bodies into the box. Mihailovic comes across to Taylor. The Crystal Palace captain, he puts the ball in towards the penalty area. Vernon gets there, but the offside flag is up. There's Liverpool man down, which is Van Dijk, but he's arbitrary feed by Liverpool captain James Milner. Well, he's captain tonight, vice captain. Benteke claims all of him was offside anyways, but even if he wasn't, it would have probably been a foul on Van Dijk. There's Patrick Vernon comes forward, does he? Yes. Is lovely bit of football. Slup was in an offside position there. There was a man down, Milner's down, and there's a book in there. Booking through there. Is it Patrick Van Aanholt? We'll get a book in here for a late challenge. Yes, it's Van Aanholt for a late challenge on Milner, which was spotted by the linesman and the referee, I think, which sees the Crystal Palace left back go into the book. He was spotted by the linesman on that far side. As it's Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0, coming up towards half time. As Maya says, Ronald Koeman is in the crowd tonight. He's just showing you him here. Just below him is the England boss, who deserves an knighthood, Mr. Gareth Southgate, or as we like to call him here on the JB Clark YouTube channel, and England fans around the world I think as well, Sir Gareth. As is Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0 is the latest score here at Selhurst Park. Coming up towards the final few minutes of the first half before the half-time interval. We're going to take about 15-minute break and let JB bring you some of the latest information from around Europe and the world. As Gomez puts the ball in, cleared away there by Townsend and up towards halfway, where Liverpool win the ball back as Ronaldo has possession and he plays the ball brilliantly. Out wide there to Keita, inside to Mane. Mane with the ball up towards Benteke, who does well, but no foul there by Ronaldo and Robertson, which I was a bit surprised of, like Benteke was, as he's Ronaldo. Clever ball out wide to Andy Robertson. Robertson controlling well. He has possession. It's Vernon with the effort blocked. Comes out to Firmino. Firmino into style, turns, goes down. Penalty to Liverpool. It's a definite penalty for me. Held by Saka, pulled by Saka, and down goes the Egyptian king, as Liverpool fans call him, and Liverpool have a penalty. Can they get the goal before half time, I wonder? Perfect view for Michael Oliver, and he points straight to the spot. No messing. Foul by Mamadou Sakho on Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king. But which one will James Milner, the Liverpool captain, score here on the stroke of half time and have Liverpool 1 up before the break? They've had a goal disallowed for foul innocent, but can Milner still go this time? Yes, he can! James Milner, the former Leeds United man, scores for Liverpool, foul by the former Liverpool man Sakho on Salah, and James Milner, the penalty king for Liverpool, steps up and says, and it's in the wrong way, and Liverpool have the lead here at Selhurst Park. Clever penalty from Milner, rolled the keeper in his eyes, and then sent him the wrong way, and slotted into the bottom corner. Great penalty that from Liverpool, and great timing as well. Matt agrees with me that it was a definite penalty and all it said, and he says perfect timing as well, and it was definitely a penalty. Saka absolutely stupid to do what he did there. As we have entered a minute of stoppages, and we've played nearly that now, as the ball's played forward up towards halfway. We're flicked on by Benteke, and he's out of play, and it looks like Liverpool are going to the lead with a 1-goal advantage here. And will there be any more goals in this first half, I wonder? The answer to this question is no, as there goes the half-time whistle. Very late James Milner penalty separates the two sides here at Selhurst Park, and it was a definite penalty as well. Foul by Saka on Salah, and it was tucked away by James Milner. Half-time here at Selhurst Park. I'll be back with you in 15 minutes for the second half. It's Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. JB, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Russ. Well, controversy at the end of that first half. I don't know what to make of it. Crystal Palace have given as good as they've got, but a penalty converted by James Milner, won by Salah. My opinion is possibly not. It's 50-50. But what probably makes up the referee's mind is that Salah does go down, but I think he went down a little bit easy there. I'm just looking on social media. Chris Sutton on the radio said, on Radio 5, he says Mo Salah gets his body in there and turns Mamadou Sakho, who has a couple of nibbles, and I suppose that is a fair decision, but you feel for Crystal Palace. They've had one or two of the decisions go against them, and Michael Oliver, I believe, is getting the bird from a lot of the Eagles fans who feel that they haven't had a fair deal in terms of refereeing decisions. But it's been a very good first half. As a Claret, thank you very much to the tributes as well for Jimmy McIlroy. What a player he was, and we'll be doing a little montage at the end of the programme for you. But I think Liverpool have seen it out. I'm going to side possibly with Russ on the penalty. Sakho did have a couple of nibbles, and that sometimes is enough to tip the player over the edge. Although I've got to be honest, Salah did make a bit of a meal of it. Not in the same league, obviously, as Neymar, but it was a little bit on the theatrical side. But having said all that, Liverpool 1 up. James Milner sending the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Liverpool really are on top here as they look to win back-to-back wins. They won 4-0 against West Ham last week, and they're winning 1-0 here this week against Crystal Palace. Earlier this weekend, we saw Newcastle miss a penalty in a 0-0 draw with Cardiff. We saw Chelsea beat Arsenal in a match you may have heard with us on the JB Man in the Match, the Saturday game live, with me. In for obviously Russ, in for obviously Chris, who's still not with us yet. He's still got one or two things to do, sort out, and once he's sorted all the problems out in his end, he will be back with us on this YouTube channel as soon as he's ready. We'll be happy to welcome him back. Until then, you've got me and Russ holding the fort for the foreseeable future, and a very good first 45 minutes from Russ, I have to say, who deserves his half-time cup of tea or half-time whatever lubricant he drinks, because he did a very good commentary there. So half-time then, 1-0. There have been some differing opinions on social media here from Liverpool and Crystal Palace fans. Dave from the Wirral, who was a Liverpool defender, who was a Liverpool fan, poor defending, definitely a penalty, great refereeing, he says. Gary, who's well, these next two I think are Crystal Palace fans. Gary says Salah the cheat, diving all over the place again as usual. And Ricky Lee Everett, who's also a Palace fan by the looks of it, Salah should have been booked, the definition of cheating. So you can tell what the Palace fans think of that. I'm also hearing that Roy Hodgson is waiting by the tunnel, and I think he's going to give Michael Oliver a real talking to here, because but I really do think Mo Salah was tripped. Sometimes you can have contact, but I do think I also want to JB Live, and no, Will Hughes should not have been sent off. Well, I rated different with Panini, not for the first time this season. I've seen the incident 4 or 5 times. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but looking at it again this afternoon, it does look an awful challenge. And I have to say, Matt Lawton, there's no excuse for it. You don't go around stamping on Isaac's success and get away with it. I would be very, very surprised, and I hate to say, and it kills me to say it as being as a claret, but you don't go around stamping on opposition players. He did clearly stamp on Isaac's success, and it gets worse every angle you see it from. And I wouldn't be surprised, Panini, if the FA threw the book at Matt Lawton, I'm afraid. And I hate to say it, because I like to defend the Burnley players, but you can't. That sort of thing, I'm afraid, is inexcusable, and that's indefensible. JB Lifestyle should be taking the spot kick. Well, if he's not the designated penalty taker, then he shouldn't be taking the penalty. If James Milner is given the job of taking penalties, and that's the job he's been told to do by Jurgen Klopp, he takes the penalties come what may. So we have to look at that. Let's have a look at the stats as well at the end of the first half. Interesting, Liverpool have had more of the ball. Palace have had 32% possession to 68 possession. Shots towards goal has been 3 for Palace, 7 for Liverpool. Shots on target, 0 for Palace. So that shot off the crossbar does not count as a shot on target, because it hit Cannon back off the bar, although it was a great effort. But they've had no shots on target, Palace. Liverpool have had 2, one of them from the penalty. They've had a corner apiece, and Palace have committed 4 fouls to Liverpool's 7. It's been an amazing first half. Ended controversially, but the Palace fans didn't like it. Roy Hodgson didn't like it, but Liverpool looking for their 5th successive win. 4th on the disallowed goal. Definite foul on the goalkeeper, I have to say. He did have both hands on the ball, and the Liverpool player went in with a little bit too much force. Although I must confess, I do think goalkeepers get a much better deal on those sort of challenges than what attackers do, which is a little bit unfair. But on this occasion, I feel that the referee on that occasion did get it right, and I don't think the goal should have been allowed to stand, because if you look at the replay very closely, there's one angle you see it from, and Ennis has clearly got the ball in his hands for about 2 or 3 seconds when he's being challenged. So I don't think under the rules, I don't think the referee could have given anything else but disallow the goal and given Palace a 3 kick. I think that's my interpretation of things. But you're obviously, if you agree with me or disagree with me, that's fantastic. There's no problem with that at all. Right. Well, obviously Jimmy McIlroy aside, Burnley haven't had a good start to the season, have they? 1 point yielded at Southampton when it should have been 3. Terra, the Millwall fan, good evening to you, mate, and big up to Neil Harris. He's doing a great job for you guys. Preston North End to go up, JB. Well, you say that, I don't know, I've got a sneaky suspicion Millwall could upset a few people to this season, I think. They've got a very good manager, as you say, Neil Harris, and they've had some very notable results. I think the victory over Derby was a very notable one. They played very well in that game, so I'm told. And I'm really beginning to warm to Millwall this season. I think they could be dark horses for the playoffs. I mean, if you can keep your manager, you've got half a chance. I think I think they've got half a chance, Millwall. Russ, our match commentator, at least they got GB. Well, they've started not too badly. I mean, that was a sign of intent, beating Derby 4-1. They've backed that up so far. They've got a very good manager there, and fantastic. Yeah, I agree with you, Tattoo. I think Harris has done remarkably well. Great player for Millwall. You could say he's in the same breath for your club as Jimmy McIlroy was for Burnley. I mean, I don't usually use the word icon very much, but Neil Harris to you guys is an icon for Millwall, isn't he? He's up there with the likes of Derek Possey in the 70s, Teddy Sheringham in the 80s. I honestly think he's done fantastic well. I survived a very, very sad, very bad cancer scare, which we're all pleased, I think, in the world of football that he survived, and it's been fantastic. What's a good season for Burnley on the back of a fantastic season? Last time out, well, anything, as long as we stay up, I think that's the important thing. Although we didn't I have to say, Michael, we didn't play very well in the second half yesterday against Watford. As soon as that third goal went in from Will Hughes, they just didn't, as you may have heard on the Corets match delayed, it was, we just didn't try. We just literally didn't try for the remainder of the remaining 40 minutes that were left in the game. Yes, we played well. I don't think you can put it down to the European excursions, because we didn't have to travel. We were at Turf Moor on Thursday for that second leg against Istanbul. So I don't think there's much excuse. Yeah, we went to extra time and won the game, but you know, people are making a great deal out of playing Thursday, Sunday. Yeah, it does affect a lot of teams. But I can tell you that 60% of that team, that played yesterday did not start on Thursday. So there isn't any. So for people to say that to throw that accusation at them, I think is a very poor excuse, in my opinion, as far as that's concerned. Harry Kane started his career at Millwall on loan. A lot of people don't realise that. That's a nice little quiz question to go forth. Millwall made Harry Kane, a lot of people would argue. I'll certainly be in that opinion. But what I will say is that the first 45 minutes tonight at Selhurst has been absolutely superb. I'd like to get everyone's thoughts on Manchester United at the moment. Is Mourinho? What do you think of Mourinho's position? There's been a lot of talk on TalkSport Radio, especially from a certain Mr. Durham, that Jose Mourinho needs to stop doing this and this and get on with it. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Is Mourinho on borrowed time at Manchester United? Let me know in the comments section. Obviously, hashtag JB Live and Russ is on. It's Russ Live, and when Chris Whiteman is on, it'll be hashtag CW Live. So we've all got our own hashtags for the season now, by the looks of it. Now Russ has invented one for himself. The cheeky so-and-so. I love him, really. Mourinho out. So obviously the Millwall fan doesn't think Mourinho's going to last too longer. There is a lot of tension between him and the Glaziers and Ed Woodward. Now, he wanted, I think, a couple of centre-backs. I think that's the crux of the whole debate, I think, Mourinho. He wanted two centre-backs. He didn't get the two centre-backs he wanted. And I have to say, at Brighton yesterday, they were all over the place. Bailey and Lindelof, they looked absolutely all at sea. But you've got to give, I mean, a lot of people are... I think a lot of people need to give Brighton a bit of credit as well. Michael says, JB Live, thank you. Mourinho needs to have a huge transfer window in January. Well, it depends whether he gets to that January window or not. I mean, it depends on results. I mean, if they play anything like they played at Brighton, and I can't see Mourinho lasting until probably November, December. That would be my guess, that's for sure. But as much as people are absolutely knocking Manchester United at the moment, and quite rightly so, because they were all over the place, and I covered them against Leicester on the opening night, and Leicester conceivably should have won that game because they were the better team on balance. If they play like that, I think Mourinho could be out of a job. But I want to give Brighton a bit of credit, because I have to be honest, I think you've got to... The way Brighton played yesterday, they don't play... Yeah, they had a wretched afternoon at the at Vicarage Road the week before, but yesterday they were superb. I mean, 2 up inside of, what was it, 20 odd minutes, I think, was it? And they'd lost Lewis Dunk, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, they lost Lewis Dunk, one of their key players. But they had Glenn Murray, 34 years old, still banging the goals in at the highest level. You just wonder if he would have done a job for England in the World Cup. You know, he was very unlucky not to even get a cap for England last season. The way he performed, the way he played, and you just seem to wonder, really. But I foolishly tipped Brighton to go down. But the way they played yesterday, if they keep that home form up again at the Amex, I mean, that would be some result. As for Burnley, yesterday they need to play a lot better. I'm worried. I'm worried beyond all recognition that we could struggle a bit, but we have to do well in this against Fulham. Anyway, the teams are back out for the second half, and it's time to head back to Selhurst Park and join our commentator for the second half. It's Russ Vernon. RV, all yours.
Thank you, JB. Yes, welcome back, everyone. Looks like it's going to be an unchanged sides from both sets of players here at Selhurst Park as Crystal Palace and Christian Benteke goes back underway. So I'll run you through the starting lineups again very, very soon. But as we watch the second half unfold, remember, Russ live if you want to ask me any questions. Well, the main overall one is JB live for the actual match. But if you want to ask me any questions, hashtag Russ live. This evening we've got the match on for you. Terrific first half, I thought, and it was an enthralling end to that first half. So we'll give you the two teams in a moment once the ball goes out of play. Don't be asking with possession across to Mihailovic. Goes to drop back to be one of the three centre backs at the moment in time. Saka now plays it back to him, and then he plays it to Tompkins and back to Mihailovic, who just misses it there, and he almost got in for Liverpool. As Gomez intercepts well as Keita coming forward, gives possession away. It was Ronaldo, I'm sorry. I'll run you through the teams in a moment. I've got the teams up in front of me, so I'll be able to run you through the two starting lineups again, because there's been no changes to this team again. But let me just stay with the match in a moment. There's Salah back to the goal scorer Milner. He's out of play for a third Crystal Palace. So this gives me a chance to give you the Crystal Palace team, does it? Yes, he will. So it's Enesy in goal. On the Asker, Tompkins, Saka, Van Aanholt. That's from right to left. Also from right to left, Townsend, Mihailovic, McCarthy should I say, and Schlupp with Benteke and Zaha. And then the remaining on the bench is, as we were, Creator, Ward, Meyer, Koyate, Schlaff and Kelly, along with Ayew. As for Liverpool, the team, they're also unchanged, so I'll give you that in a second. As Wan-Bissaka takes a throw for Crystal Palace. Back to Townsend. Townsend now into McCarthy. Mihailovic, he tries to play the ball out wide towards Wan-Bissaka. Mane back doing some defending. No, Mane's playing. He's back to Alisson, who's in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson across the back. As Crystal Palace come forward, I break off from that at the moment. It's Van Aanholt has possession. Wide left. Into Zaha. Moves into Schlupp back to Zaha. Back to Schlupp. Across the face of goal. No one there in a Crystal Palace shirt. Needed to be someone there at the back post. But there was no one there at the back post. And Liverpool got lucky there and go away with it. As ball comes in towards Mohamed Salah. Over top of the keeper. Keeps the ball in. Salah. Right hand corner of the box. Gives it back to Mane. Wide. No, it's never Keita there. Sorry. Keita just wide. Great bit of place. I think Enesy did enough to put Salah off there, kept the ball alive, cut it back to Keita, who was right on the edge of the box, and he dragged his shot wide. Oh, lucky there, Liverpool going to double their lead. So as I was saying is, Becker, Alisson in goal, and then Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson across the back for Liverpool. Keita, Wijnaldum, Milner in midfield, Salah, Firmino and Mane lead the line with Mingale, Anderson, Sturridge, Moreno, Lallana and Shaqiri on the Liverpool subs bench this evening. So I'll give you the team, I'll give you how I expect the match to end up in a few moments, guys. So that's what we will do in a few moments, but we'll continue to watch this game as Liverpool and Crystal Palace battle it out here at Selhurst Park. I'm expecting it to be a good end to this game, and I think both teams will go to try and get the win, as you would expect in a Premier League game. Both teams would try and win. None of the teams would try and lose. Well, I would have thought so anyway. It's what point in playing a football match if you went out there to lose? Actually, no point whatsoever. But we'll watch this Crystal Palace attackers. On the Axel fetches the ball forward. Lovely interception from Mane. Now Keita coming forward. Never Keita coming forward. He's got Firmino making the forward run. He's got Salah with him as well. Keita goes all the way and is knocked behind. Brilliant tackle from Wan-Bissaka. Got back with some brilliant defending. As that was a fantastic bit of play there. So brilliant challenge. As Karius gonna machine test. I think it could be a good move for him. I think he needs to go to a foreign country to get out of the limelight of the English press and see how well he does over in Turkey. There's a brilliant corner from Milner there. Headed away by Crystal Palace up to Townsend on the edge of the box. And now clears it forward. Here's Zaha against Robertson, and he does well against Robertson there. Ronaldo was back at him as well. Attacking on Robertson. And he goes down under, and it was Trent Alexander-Arnold in fact, who just got back at him, and he's being booked there. Against Turkey will do Karius a lot of good, I think, Mike. What do you think to that move? Do you think it'll go well for him? Yes, I do. Interesting to hear your guys' thoughts as well on that. So, free kick. It goes. Well, it is, should I say, to Crystal Palace. Mihailovic, and it looks like Townsend is stood over it as well. Which will it be? Will it be Mihailovic the captain, or will it be Andros Townsend? It's Mihailovic! Save! Fantastic save by Alisson. Tips it around the post for Mihailovic's free kick. And that was a fantastic free kick and a good clearance away by the Liverpool goalkeeper. Great away from goal as well as this corner from Mihailovic. He's in towards Benteke, who jumps, can't reach the header though. And Zaha lets it go for a throw. Well, he was slippery laying out for a throw. And he will now take a long throw, will he? Or will he? He takes a long throw in towards the box. So he's going in there. So, still going. Back to Slop. And an out. Transfer goal over the top. Just over there. Yes, I actually heard they arrived I was listening to pre-match build-up on the stream that I've got up here in the commentary box for the pictures while I'm watching on from a vantage point here in the commentary box. And they did say that it was there, but he had his suitcase and all of this stuff packed, so it looks like he's going to fly straight out to go to Besiktas straight after this game this evening. So it's still Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Crystal Palace with another corner kick then. Mihailovic. The crowd are chanting really loudly, "Come on Palace," is the cry. Corner kick. And his header towards goal, saved by Alisson. Then Teke's header. And the offside flag was up. Who was it in the offside position? It was Stuttard in the offside position. And he stuck out a foot. If he'd have left it, I don't think he would have. If he didn't try and go for the ball, I don't think he would have given that. I agree with what Max said about Karius. He's clearly the third choice, so he's got to go. Kieta, we just had a bit of treatment there. And now Michael, still down at the moment, another Kieta. Need in the back of the head by Benteke, was climbing for the ball. And it's still Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0. The latest score, should I say, almost on the full-time score then. But it's not the full-time, it's the latest score. Here at Selhurst Park. As I watch on, it's a very good, entertaining game here. Really enjoyed this one so far tonight. Hopefully we'll have more goals to bring you during our live commentary this evening. But who knows if we will or not. We'll find out shortly, I would imagine. As Liverpool conceded a throw, which was won by Andros Townsend's magnificent play. Still awaiting the first goal here. As we in the second half, I mean, when we say waiting the first goal. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. 57 minutes gone in this contest, almost an hour gone. In about 10 minutes time, so in about with 20 minutes to go, I'll open the lines for man of the match, and I'll let you know how to get involved with your man of the match. Let you know which hashtag you need for man of the match this evening. As we watch on here, it's Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. 58 minutes gone. Still 1-0. The team from Anfield lead. Lee Davenport says Jeremy Corbyn and Jurgen Klopp are leading the Red Revolution. Well, Jurgen Klopp is it? At this moment in time, we're not really bothered about politics on this channel at this moment in time. We're more bothered about how tonight's game's going to unfold and who will win this game and who will come out on top. At the moment, it's Liverpool who will come out on top, thanks for a late James Milner penalty in the first half. As the brilliant crossfield pass from Mane to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who pushed the ball in looking for Mo Salah. And that Saka did right there by clearing it out of play for a corner kick. Still 0-1 the scoreline. I almost want to say still 0-0, but it's Milner who goes to the corner, out to Salah, who strikes and just deflected wide for another corner. I thought that was headed into the top corner there from Mo Salah. The first corner from Milner headed out to the edge of the box, and Salah struck on goal and Slubb got in the way to head that away from goal and behind for a corner, but it's a short corner this time. Milner whips the ball in towards the back post. He's still in the penalty area, act clear by Crystal Palace. And he's out for a throw, which Robertson will come across to take. Van Dijk and Gomez came back into position in case Crystal Palace break and all back there. Not really got an opinion because I didn't really see what happened, so I can't really give a comment. As Trent Alexander-Arnold strikes a goal, here's Firmino now. After a miscue from Keita, Firmino on the edge of the box gives away to Benteke, who's trying to break for Crystal Palace over halfway, and he lost out, and Trent Alexander-Arnold posts the ball down the line for Firmino. Firmino coming forward for Liverpool. End-to-end stuff at this moment in time. Milner, shot blocked and then cleared away, and there's a foul by Milner on Mihailovic. Please try and keep comments towards this game till after the match, and then me and JB, we talk about Man United and other topics. We may speak on some of the topics then, so ask the questions then and use JB Live and Russ Live, and we'll both give our opinions on your questions after the game. But keep the game comments while the game's on to the actual match that we are focusing on tonight, please. NSC has possession for Liverpool. Well, against Liverpool for Crystal Palace. Now is Tompkins. Tompkins coming forward, is he? No, he's controlled it well and pushed back to Saka. Saka coming forward. McCarthy back to Saka, and then he's further forward. And now wide there from Zaha. No. Here's Benteke. Zaha now gives position away. And now Firmino. Oh no, well. Trying to play through for Mane. He's now going for Robertson. Robertson attacking Wan-Bissaka close inside of him, and he gets a block on his shot, which deflects out for a goal kick. And we just lose live pictures here at this moment in time. We'll try and quickly resolve that for you, so hopefully you won't have missed much action. Now we're going to chat about Man United after the game, plus any other news, so you can ask us some questions after the game. Get involved in the chat afterwards as well if you can. Still 1-0. I think they may have to do, Mike, because whatever they're doing at the moment is not working for Crystal Palace for whatever reason. I'm not sure what that reason is. Well, the system at the moment is not working. Maybe substitution, changing formation, maybe. But they need to do something, Mike. Well, wonder if Roy will change things. You know what it was like when he was in charge of England. As Crystal Palace Liverpool have a throw down the line, cleared away by Crystal Palace. And Zaha was battling with Gomez there, and his Liverpool are coming forward with Van Dijk to Milner. Alexander-Arnold. Lovely play from Liverpool. Is this moment in time? Can Liverpool get back into this, or will Crystal Palace get back into this, or will Liverpool hang on to this 1-0 lead? It is still Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Played 65 minutes. Over the second half, as Firmino picks up the ball. He runs over and plays out to Robertson. Robertson up against one Biasca. Biasca forces Robertson back. Love the play this from Crystal Palace. Crossfield ball by Liverpool, and Trent Alexander-Arnold looks to come forward. Can he create a chance for Liverpool to get a second goal? He puts the ball in towards the penalty area with 2 near the goalkeeper there. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1 is the latest score tonight. And a bit of a stat here for you. Before tonight, James Milner, 48 goals in 47 Premier League appearances and never lost. 37 wins and 10 draws. Will that feat continue tonight? Is Benteke with a paw? Well, I would say a shot there. He's onside, takes it down well, and instead of crossing, he went for a shot, and it was a shot which was wayward. Still Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1, as James Milner is now being replaced by Jordan Henderson for Liverpool. Liverpool fans up on their feet, clapping their captain, who could have got the goal which will have won them, which looks like he could be is winning the game and could win this game for Liverpool, as Jordan Henderson now takes over the captain's armband as well as Milner's place in that midfield area. Alisson Becker with this goal kick for Liverpool. Long downfield was cleared away by Crystal Palace, with Robertson who regains position for Liverpool. Down the line from Crystal Palace once again. A lovely interception. There's a ball forward there. Up towards Salah. Saka, they said all wrong, and then Vernon out does well to get it back to Henderson, and he throws it out wide to Saka, spring forward for Crystal Palace against his former club. Schlupp inside towards the goes down under the challenge. Well, it was Benteke, but it's no foul, but Benteke is still down. Now getting back to his feet is Henderson. Taketa back to Henderson. Ronaldo back to Henderson, and now Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold back to Henderson, and now Ronaldo. Henderson. Alexander-Arnold whips the ball in, blocked, behind for a corner kick to Liverpool. Very, very soon we'll have your nominations for Man of the Match, and I'll tell you how to get them in a few moments' time. Mohamed Salah will take this corner now. Milner's been substituted. Salah whips the ball in. It's cleared away by Crystal Palace up towards the edge of the box, and then Townsend and forces it further back, and then he's back. Trent Alexander-Arnold to his goalkeeper Alisson, who plays it straight into midfield to Henderson, who turns, sprays the ball out wide to Robertson, or Van Dijk, should I say, because Robertson's on possession now. Keita back to Robertson. Mane making the run down the line. Keita again. Henderson. Lovely control. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Gomez. Henderson. Oh, lovely bit of play there from Henderson to Alexander-Arnold. Inside he goes to Ronaldo. Back to Henderson. Henderson. Crossfield pass. Outside of his right boot out to the left of where Robertson was. Into Firmino. Back to Keita. Back to Robertson. Into Firmino once more. Into the boxes Ronaldo, lovely flick into Salah. And he moves out from Vernon, and now Crystal Palace look to break. Vernon running at the Liverpool defence, but Salah's back doing some brilliant defending, but then Vernon back doing some brilliant defending of his own. Then Mane has it. Keita into Robertson. Robertson for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold. Into our Salah was offside, the flag is up. For offside, and will Crystal Palace make a change? And yes, they are making a change, and it's Alexander Slaughton for the former Liverpool man Christian Benteke. So it's a like-for-like substitution here. For Liverpool, not Liverpool, Crystal Palace might have changed, took off one of the midfielders like McCarthy or Mihailovic, and gone with three up top. Tried matching Liverpool for the closing stages, but there's 20 minutes left, so they could still do that if they fetch Jordan Ayew. We'll have to wait and see if they will. And if it kicks the ball long, is Wambiaska picks up and over the top it goes, and it's now out of play for a throw. Wambiaska collects the ball for the throw into Mihailovic, back to Wambiaska, and he loses out, but then Liverpool won the ball out of play on that far side for another Keita, and Liverpool conceding throws at the moment. Yes, for your man of the match, guys, like Panini's just done. Hashtag JBMOTM and then the player. So we've already had one vote for Andrew Robertson. And Panini, if you can do me a favour, count up all the votes, and if you need be, I'll do the casting vote as Crystal Palace win a throw. So Mike Tattoo Terror as well, if you're still listening, guys, use the hashtag JBMOTM for your man of the match, and I'll give your nominees a mention very, very soon. And JB, please add up, no, JB, Panini, please add up all the votes and let me know who's got the most votes at the end with when I tell you to let me know who's got most votes, and then I'll announce tonight's JB man of the match chosen by you the listeners. I think, Mike, you've spelt Alison's name right. Let me just double check this. No, you spelled it wrong, but I know who you're on about. Alisson Becker's, so all fires a shot straight at him. It's just the one L in Alisson. But we know what you mean, so we'll lay you off, Mike. Since you're new to this channel, listening to the live commentaries. And since you're a good friend of myself. So we've got one vote for Andrew Robertson and one vote for Alisson, as our ball from Liverpool is out of play for a throw to Crystal Palace next Monday night. I'm not sure if we'll be bringing it yet, but next Monday night there's a big game in the Premier League as Manchester United, Jose Mourinho's Manchester United, stay tuned to this as we talk, Manchester United at full time, and they take on Tottenham next week. Wolves Man City as well next Saturday lunchtime as well, could be one of the games here on the JB Clara YouTube channel. Just depends what me or JB is doing next Saturday lunchtime. So you've probably have a few matches coming up in the next couple of weeks with myself and JB as Crystal Palace win another corner from Townsend's deflected cross. If people else can get nominated, and if you've got until the 85th minute mark to change your vote on man of the match, and if we've got a player on one vote each, I will have the deciding vote. JB, if you're around, comment your man of the match in the chat using your hashtag for it, JBMOTM. And Salah's breaking through for Liverpool. Can Salah double away for Liverpool? Yes, fouled by Sacco, does a yes. And it's a red card! Sacco is off! There's no Sacco, is it? Is that a Sacco? I won't be asking who's being sent off here. I'm not sure. Let's see who it is who's got sent off here. I'm not sure which one he was. It's the right back here. I don't want me asking sent off. Last man. And a challenge on Mo Salah. Mo's outside the penalty area just as he was running through. And won't be asking. As Mike says, last man, definite red card. He knees him in the back. And then pulls his shirt as well. Rumbiaska sees red, last man, and Crystal Palace down to 10 men. Rumbiaska, who's the man who has seen red. And there's a free kick for Liverpool on the edge of the penalty area. Inside the D. Rumbiaska's getting a round of applause as he goes down the tunnel at the far end of the field. And the Crystal Palace wall trying to get a bit further forward there. And it is still all from Salah's free kick and goes behind for no, as Mike Letts is finding. Yes, I agree with your opinion there. Straight red, correct call for me. So we've had one vote for Alisson, one vote for Robertson at this moment in time as Crystal Palace, and as he punches the ball clear for the 10 men of Crystal Palace. Comes out to Keita, strikes. Save by Hennessy. Crystal Palace need to make a change. And I think they'll probably try for John Martin Kelly. As Alisson claims that long ball forward, looking for the R. Crystal Palace may need to fetch on another defender. But Joe Ward or Martin Kelly may need to come on to show up on the back. And if we were one of them two, I'd probably take off. The R has been, yesterday has been lively, but it's been very much quiet this evening. Apart from the chances which Crystal Palace have created, apart from Liverpool have kept him quite rest in the game. There's another player hitting towards Keita on the edge of the box. He gets it back to Alexander Arnold, running a Schlupp. The Schlupp sticks out his leg to block the cross. As we see a substitution, and it's number 10, which is Andros Townsend, being sacrificed for Joe Ward, who's a right back. It looks like Crystal Palace are going to go to a 4-3-1 now, with Slow up front and Zaha moving out wide to the right hand side, with Schlupp on this left. So a throw from Alexander Arnold is down to Mane, is Firmino with the cross, cleared away on the edge of the penalty area to Henderson. Now Robertson. Keita back to Robertson, drew the cross low. Back to Robertson, stands it up now. And Saka chests it back to Wayne Hennessy, who claims he well there. Let me know your thoughts on my commentary as well this evening, guys. Use the hashtag Russ Live and let me know your thoughts on my commentary. Or get your man of the match verse in. Got until 1 minute before, got until we're at the 90th minute mark for your man of the match. But and for that one, use the hashtag JBMOTM. And for thoughts on my commentary, use the hashtag Russ Live. As is, Alexander whips it in. Clean away as Salah was lurking. He's Wijnaldum now for Liverpool. Good. Last few minutes from Liverpool since Crystal Palace have gone to 10 men. They've upped the gear, Liverpool. Everyone, or Alisson inside the Crystal Palace off. Crystal Palace with 8 men behind the ball and slow for early field. Here's Salah from Firmino's pass. He says to Mane! Saved by the keeper. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on my commentaries. Crystal Palace look to me their third and final change here. And I think it could be Max Meyer who could be coming on like his Crystal Palace debut in a moment. But he's the lovely one from Wilfred Zaha. Slow, sets up. McCarthy inside the penalty, still going McCarthy. Goes down on the challenge. Says he got the ball, referee Michael Over says he got the ball. I'm not sure he did. As Patrick Vernon controls possession well for Crystal Palace as they're trying to get back into it. Mihailovic. Tompkins. Coming forward. Ward. Back to Tompkins it goes. Mihailovic. Saka. Tompkins. All lovely turn from McArthur. Schlupp. Van Aanholt. Down line for Sloth. He can't do much there as that's gone out of play. Looks like it might be a throw or a foul there against Trent Alexander-Arnold. As if we'll just watch this replay again. Correct call from referee Michael Oliver for that penalty show there. And thank you very much, Mr. Mike Ornament. He says, Hashtag Russ Live, as I've said about me. Cracking commentary, mate. Top work. Thank you, Mike. As Max Meyer comes on, and it's Jeffrey Slupp, the man who makes way. From a Leicester City man. His arm moves out to this left hand side. Meyer moves across to our right hand side, wearing the number 7 shirt. Liverpool only made the one change. Crystal Palace made all 3 now. And they're down to 10 men. Here's Firmino. Lovely twisting and turning from Firmino. Here's Mane. Crossing towards Salah! Tipped over the ball. Great effort there from Salah Granada. And it's tipped over the ball there. Fantastic work from Mane to dig out the cross. So arrived and a great fingertip save over the ball from Hennessy. Good work there from the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Everyone, it looks like, could be back now for Crystal Palace, with virtually everyone bar the goalkeeper from Liverpool forward. Alexander-Arnold will take this corner kick. Whipped in towards the penalty, saved by Hennessy. Right underneath his crossbar. Rolls it straight out to McCarthy. McCarthy keeping possession well now for Liverpool. Coming forward. Zaha. Lovely control. Tompkins. Here's Ward. Meyer. Ward. Tompkins. Tucker. Majevic. MacArthur. Oh, brilliant flick to Van Arnold. Sloroff. MacArthur. Zaar. Palestone trying to get a goal back. Draws it low. Across the face of goal, no one made what looks like a red and blue shirt blocked by Crystal Palace. Ward puts the ball in towards the penalty, cleared away. Salah can Liverpool break now. Salah now, once again. Away from one, away from two, Salah still going. Saka in steps. Well and Maya now. Thank you, Panini. Says Russ, splendid commentary, dear fella. Thank you, Panini. Liverpool still with this slender lead. Last 5 minutes to go. I'll give you an extra minute. So you've got until the 87th minute mark on my screen. If Mike or Panini want to change your man of the match vote, you've got until the 87th minute mark on my screen to change your vote, as we are on the 86-minute mark. Well, actually, you've got a minute exactly to change your vote if need be for man of the match. Otherwise, I'll ask if we need to get ready to count up the votes for man of the match, and then I could have the casting vote on the stroke of the 90th minute. As Mane comes in towards the penalty, Salah still going. Firmino, into the box, strikes! Over the bar from Firmino. Should have done better there. Commentator leaves the field. He's done well tonight for me. Commentator, but he's not being nominated for man of the match. I've got one vote for the left back Andy Robertson, and one vote for Alisson Becker, and Commentator is being replaced by England man, which is Adam Lallana. Looks like he's going to be like for like with slotting onto the lad. And Wan-Bissaka's red card I'm seeing again here, and that was absolutely a poor challenge by the young back. And now, no more votes for changing now. Panini, when I tell you when, send me who's got the man of the match first now. If it's a draw, I think it's a draw. Looks like I've got the casting vote for man of the match. Unless JB or any of the other listeners change, pop up with a man of the match from either Robertson or Alisson. Thank you, Mike. He says between Alisson and Robertson for man of the match so far. Thank you there, my dear friend. As we now jump from for Liverpool. Lovely work from the Liverpool number 5. He has possession again. Anderson. Van Dijk. Wijnaldum. There's it again, Wijnaldum. Lovely bit of football. It's from Liverpool, passing it around well. I'm seeing some comments saying the red card for Wan-Bissaka could get rescinded as it appeared Salah lost control of the ball on that replay. Need to have another look, see if he did or not. As a ball towards Firmino, challenge comes in. Terrific challenge, had to get that spot on. Otherwise, it would have been another penalty to Liverpool. But what a challenge this is. It's a free kick. 2 Liverpool. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. And what a challenge there from James Tompkins. Absolutely magnificent challenge. Liverpool playing on. Ronaldo. He's gone back, forced back to the goalkeeper Alisson. Abigail to give man of the match. It's going to be a deciding vote. I'll have a look at the comments in a moment. As we're into 4 minutes added time, and it's between Alisson and Robertson for man of the match. 1 vote for Robertson we had and 1 vote for Alisson. Well, I can tell you, your JB man of the match. I've got the deciding vote. And I want to say congratulations to one man who I feel deserves man of the match. He's played absolutely fantastic tonight for Liverpool. I'll tell you what that is in a moment. As Ward into my man is in the penalty area, holding off. Robertson, can he go shot away? No. Ward, can he keep the ball in? Yes, he can. Ward, twisting and turning, goes past one, goes down as a free kick to Crystal Palace. And your man of the match, and the JB man of the match this evening, goes to the Liverpool player for man of the match tonight. Let's see if it shows you on the screen in front of me. If I reveal it. If not, I'll reveal it in a moment after this free kick. There towards goal is behind for a corner. And your man of the match, I must say, goes to number 26 for Liverpool and the left back, Andy Robertson. Played brilliantly tonight and showed some good footwork in attack. As Liverpool break, clearly get a second here, it's Mane for a goal. Sadio Mane goes through. 1-1-2. Sadio Mane seals the game for Liverpool in stoppage time. Absolutely fantastic break from the corner. Salah got it, played it in to Sadio Mane, and he controls the ball well. And Slaughter was a corner from Crystal Palace. Everyone powered forward for Roy Hodgson's men. Great pass. Vernon out. Stayed on his feet as he could have gone down. Round Hennessy and slotted into an empty net. His game surely won a match now. And Andy Robertson has played his part, and Mane could have been given man of the match as well, but Andy Robertson is the man of the match tonight, and Liverpool deserve this victory tonight that they're going to be getting. This evening. Thank you, Panini says a very wise choice. Says Firmino's been substituted for the last few minutes of this game, which Daniel Sturridge comes on for. As Crystal Palace trying to get a goal back. Mayo on this right hand side. Shot is blocked out for a corner. But will Crystal Palace today have time for a corner? Because I was watching a match on Match of the Day at the weekend. I can't remember which one it was. And they didn't have... It was the Everton game, and Southampton didn't have time to take a corner, but Crystal Palace do. And he's in towards the penalty area, headed out of the near post. And there goes the full-time whistle. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 2. A terrific performance from Jurgen Klopp's men, and it was a James Milner penalty after Salah was fouled in the first half. Salah was involved again in the second goal as this break is past to Mane, sets up the Liverpool forward who fired past Hennessy after he rounded him into an empty net, and it's finished here on your Monday Night Football on the JB Clare YouTube channel. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 2. Congratulations once again to Andy Robertson, your JB man of the match. JB, over to you.
Thank you very much, Russ. Stay with us because we're going to talk Manchester United in a minute and one or two other bits over talking points over the weekend, because there's been plenty of great matches going on between obviously Burnley yesterday losing, Manchester United stumbling, Palace, Huddersfield hit per 6 at Man City, and Chelsea beating Arsenal. We'll try and go through all those. We've got until about 10 past 10 tonight, and thank you very much to everyone who's commented. They're very controversial game indeed, but the red card was the correct decision. Van Basenka deserved to go. He was the last man. I think Russ called it correctly, and I think everyone was in agreement that that was a red card. If it was in the penalty area, funnily enough, it would have been a yellow because of the new FIFA laws. Andy Robertson, a sound choice as man of the match, by the way, and Liverpool keep their 100% record going at the top of the Premier League. And one of 4 teams at the moment with 100% records, the others being Chelsea, Manchester City and unbelievably Watford, who won yesterday at Turf Moor. So Jurgen Klopp, big smile across his face. Virgil van Dijk and co keeping a clean sheet. It was always going to be a tough test tonight at Selhurst, no doubt about that. Bournemouth as well, yes. So what I can tell you is basically for the weekend, for Saturday night, we'll all be at Anfield for Liverpool's next match, and that's at home to the conquerors of Manchester United yesterday. That's Brighton and Hove Albion. So you'll be able to hear that one with us for sure on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Any other games we'll let you know in due course. You're away in Greece to take on Olympiacos. Hopefully we'll have the game. Hopefully the game will be televised, and if it is, we'll be able to show you. We'll be able to bring you commentary of that live. 5 teams as it happens, but a good performance. Very well thought out performance, and that's 5 straight away wins now at Crystal Palace in all competitions. They last lost to Palace in the 2014-15 season, November of that season, but a very good victory there. Maybe 1 or 2 question marks about the penalty, but the referee was right to give it. The Wan Basenga, that was a definite red card, and then at the end of it, it was an absolute fantastic performance. So that really sums up there. If we get any interviews with any protagonists, we will bring him to you, but for now I want to bring Russ Vernon back in for a second or two, RV. So we want to talk Manchester United now, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this as well, but if we can bring Russ back in at Selhurst. Russ, what did you think of Manchester United's performance? Is it an acceptable standard that the fans want? Because we've heard a lot of rumours and mutterings that Mourinho's job is on the line. Has he been backed enough, or do you think the board now are starting to lose patience with him as the manager? Because I have to say, I covered them at Old Trafford the week before last against Leicester City, and to say that they were winning the match, his posture and his facial expressions did not reflect a manager who was winning a football match. What do you think of the Mourinho situation at the moment, and what needs to be done?
Well, to be honest, JB, I only called the second half of the match yesterday due to I watched the Burnley game, and then I watched the Brentford versus Sheffield Wednesday game in the Championship yesterday as well, and then I saw the second half of the Man United game, and I watched the goals as well on an app on my phone. And I think what needs to be done, I think Man United the board need to have a look at themselves and think that is Mourinho going to be the right man to take them forward? Because for me, I don't think they are. I think Man United may need a fresh change in there, and I think the performances from the Red Devils, I know they scraped through against Leicester in the opening match, and then yesterday Slum were 2-0 down before they even put up any sort of a fight, from what I heard and from what I saw on the highlights as well. And things like that need to change if they want to be challenging to try and get in the Champions League and the Europa League places. They need to really change that sort of performance level, because for me, I don't feel the Man United players are playing for Jose Mourinho at this moment in time. I'm not sure what anyone else has to say, like maybe Mike Orneman and a few others who are tuned in this evening. But I'm not sure what you think, JB. I think some of the players are not playing for Jose Mourinho. Would you agree?
Well, there's something not quite right, Russ. I will say that, but I mean, the team reflects the manager for me, and I mean, Mourinho is the manager. He's not the same man that we saw at Chelsea a few years ago, up and at him, being his arrogant self. I'm the special one. He doesn't seem like the special one. There's obviously plenty of conflict. Paul Pogba has been involved in some of the spats, although I have to say he played a little bit. I thought he was the best Manchester United player out there at Brighton yesterday. But the defenders, I think it all boils down to the fact that Mourinho had identified two centre-backs, and he didn't get them. He gave a list of centre-backs to Ed Woodward, who's the chief executive there, and he didn't get them. So it's a very difficult situation there at Manchester United. So so that's the situation there. You guys, we'll be with you for another 10-15 minutes. We'll be leaving you at 10:15. Right, now Russ, Manchester City, they've had it. What do you think of their start of the season? They've been pretty ruthless. They were good against Arsenal without being over brilliant. Yesterday, just too much of a match for Huddersfield, and really, I've got to be honest with you, I think they are the team to beat this season. I mean, it's going to be close to the title race. But how do you think City have started this season? I think they've started really well, and I wasn't surprised when they put 6 past Huddersfield, who, by the way, are going to be in for a long season. What are your thoughts on Manchester City at the moment, and do you feel for Huddersfield Town as well this season, second season syndrome and all that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first and foremost, JB, Manchester City, we know what we're capable of, as they showed last season, winning the Premier League. I think they're going to end up winning the Premier League again this season. I think the performance levels that they've been putting in have been fantastic so far this season. The teams have showed real quality and real strength and depth with the squad, with the signings that they've fetched in. Mahrez seems to be a good addition, and I heard him really play much opening 2 games. But against Arsenal, I saw the full game, and Arsenal completely outplayed Arsenal. And I think Arsenal gave, like Mike just said there, Arsenal gave Man City too much time on the ball. There was perfect time for Man City to play Arsenal, with the manager Unai Emery only just coming in. And I think Huddersfield are going to have that second season syndrome, and I think we're going to struggle this season. I think when I did my predictions for the table, I can't remember if I sent it to Mike, and I'll have to try and find them out in a moment, but I think I predicted them to go down in 18th position, Huddersfield Town, and I think they'll do very poorly this season. Indeed,
I mean, you've got a fear for I do have to say, you have to fear for Huddersfield Town. They haven't really strengthened enough in any department. But Man City, I mean, they've got a great squad before you start, and obviously Riyad Mahrez has probably strengthened them. And one thing I will say before we move on about Pep Guardiola, he's a master tactician. He hasn't spent too much money really compared to the others. I mean, Liverpool have had to play catch up in that sense, spending money and getting a new keeper in that. But he's not changing things too radically, and I think that's always the sign of a good settled club. Now, speaking of Arsenal, of course, they were in action on Saturday night on the Saturday Game Live with me. A real thriller minute. They lost the game 3-2, but missed 4 glorious chances during the match. Ozil missed one. I think Iwobi missed a couple as well. It was a tough game, and Chelsea really played well as well. Arsenal played 2, lost 2. Russ, I know they've had a tough couple of fixtures, but has Henry got his work cut out, and what does he really need to do? I honestly think they need to improve that back line. I don't know how you feel about it, but I thought if Arsenal had taken their chances on Saturday, I think they would have had 4 or 5 goals. They could have easily beaten Chelsea, but what do you think Arsenal really need to get right if they're going to start challenging for the league title, let alone the Champions League again?
I think Arsenal need to change the defence, need to strengthen more in defence. Another sign Socrates in defence, but I think we need to add another one in central midfield. We need to, in the Premier League and also in the Championship, you must take your chances at these 2 levels if you have anywhere to survive or challenge for the top 4, top 6 in the European or promotion places in whichever division you're in. And I think Arsenal need to convert the chances. Like Mike says, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan also missed 2 chances. Iwobi and Ozil, like you mentioned, missed a few chances as well. If those had gone in, it could have been a different game. When Arsenal missed 1 or 2, if that had gone in, it could have really changed the game there. And I think if they played converted those chances, I think Arsenal may have gone on to win the game. I saw the highlights on Match of the Day because I was on the way back home from the Leeds game of the weekend. But I think Arsenal need to convert the chances, and I think to start having any good real opportunity to get through, to get forward and challenge in that top spot. Then, before we move on, JB, I've noticed a message from Mike a few moments ago, 9 minutes ago to be precise, asking me for my thoughts on the Leeds United game tomorrow against Swansea. Leeds have started well this season. I saw Swansea on Friday, and if Swansea play like they did, Mike, against Birmingham, and I think Leeds play like we have done in his opening 4 games, especially the second half against Rotherham United from Saturday, which I was at. If we play like that and start on the front foot, close them down, create the chances, I can see Leeds completely dominating Swansea tomorrow. That is live on the TV, so and I don't know if we'll be fixing that live feed tomorrow. We're having a day off, but if you do manage to catch the game, make sure look out for Leeds United, where we press this season. All our outfield players press inside the opposition's half. We have everyone inside the opposition's half. Keep pushing forward. They'll have the keeper back in our own half, and then the central defenders. We have play 3 central defenders with Calvin Phillips in the front of the back 4, and I think they'll play really, really good play really well. And I think if Leeds can play like we can do, I think we can beat Swansea tomorrow and have a really good performance going forward and hopefully getting back to the big time, where I know you may say I'm going to be sounding biased now, but where Leeds United belong in the Premier League. We're a big club with a big fan base. You can see the big fan base is one of the biggest attendances in the Championship this week, second attendance in the football in the Championship this week, and I think in the opening weekend, the biggest opening weekend game at Ellen Road since we played Newcastle back in 2014, 2010, 2011 when we was both in the Premier League and, well, back in his Premier League days against Newcastle. We had over 38,000, going on 40,000 there for that one. But I think Leeds will do well tomorrow, Mike, and I think we'll get the victory tomorrow, and I think Rotherham will bounce back against an Hull side which have been playing poorly this season as well. And back over to you now, JB, to continue with the rest of the Premier League stuff.
Well, thanks very much for that. I thought we'd turn into the Yorkshire Show there for a minute. No, I'm kidding. Yes, I wish Leeds well. It's a great old club, Leeds. Great tradition, Don Revie and all that. It would be nice to see them back in the table, back up into the Premier League, and it'd be nice to see Aston Villa up there as well. I want to give them a shout out as well this season. The other games, Russ, starting. Obviously, Bournemouth winning at West Ham. That was a bit of a surprise because I thought West Ham would do well this season. Tottenham, Harry Kane scoring in August. That was a good result as well. And also the events. Also, I want to touch on the events at Newcastle as well. The whole thing with Mike Ashley. I want to get your. This is the final. This is the final subject I want to touch on before we leave tonight, Russ. I want to touch on Mike Ashley and Newcastle and all that, because obviously that's been a bit of a soap opera up there now for many, many, many years. Fans are growing tired of Mike Ashley. Will Rafa stay in the summer? Will he go? Is he going to get money to spend in January? I mean, he's brought in some players, but it doesn't seem to have strengthened the squad enough, in my opinion. I want to get your thoughts on the Newcastle thing before finally, because do you worry about Newcastle at all, or do you think Rafa will have the way with all the experience that he already has to keep them away from trouble? I mean, bearing in mind they finished 10th last season, do you honestly think that Newcastle will be alright, or do you fear for them because of the ownership and the lack of money they've had to spend? Because I've heard a lot of Newcastle fans moan and groan. I mean, this is a guy that spent £90 million in buying House of Fraser. Should he have spent the £90 million on the Newcastle team?
Yes, he should have spent the £90 million on the squad. I think Newcastle lack a striker. Yes, I know they've got Salomon Rondon on loan from West Brom with Dwight Gale going there, but what I don't work out is they've let Gale go out on loan, they've fetched an extra striker in with Rondon. What I don't work out is why they let a striker go and replace him with a striker when they needed an extra striker anyway. They've signed in Key Son Young for the midfield area, but I don't think they needed to strengthen in the midfield. They need to strengthen up top. I know they finished 10th last season, and I think if they wanted to go higher, should have added another forward in there. And I fear for Newcastle. I think they could have a really rubbish season with the not spending in the summer. And I'm thinking that Rafa will not get the funds he needs to strengthen the club in January, and I fear that if results don't pick up before they actually decide to sack Rafa Benitez, then Rafa will speak to the board, see if they're going to give him some money to reimburse and get better quality and strength in depth in the striking department, which I think is where they're lacking at this moment in time. And I fear that if they say no, I fear before the January transfer window, then I fear that Rafa Benitez may walk and in his resignation at Newcastle United, and I'm not sure who will go in there. And if I remember correctly, when they announced that he bought House of Fraser, Mike Ashley, I saw a tweet from Alan Shearer, who, I'm not sure if you saw it, JB, he actually tweeted to Gary Lineker, Lineker mentioned him shared it and he quoted that tweet and he went, does anyone know what position Alsa Fraser can play? Can he play up front? So Shearer, a club legend, he's not happy. I don't think he's happy with Mike Ashley, and I won't blame him because Newcastle need to strengthen on the field and Ashley needs to strengthen within the football club. It's a bit like your club at Burnley, JB. They didn't have a lot of transfers in the summer. They all signed three players in towards the end when you should have signed 4 or 5, as I heard you mention on the class match delayed from earlier today, which I listened back to from yesterday's game and what I've heard you say in previous matches when we've asked you questions about Burnley. And Newcastle are the same, they need to strengthen, and they've not done that. He's spending the money on something which he doesn't need to buy when he could strengthen that, use that money which he bought out of Fraser for to strengthen the squad. And that's where I think the problems lie. Mike Ashley will not strengthen in the squad, but I fear that Rafa Benitez could walk if things don't improve in January, with the signings coming in January. And I agree with Mike, Newcastle haven't been the same since they lost Alexander Mitrovic to Fulham, and he did well for Fulham at last season in the Championship, and he's doing the business already. Scored at Wembley. I know they lost to Tottenham, but he scored at Wembley, and I think that they need to replace him, and I don't think they should have kept Gale and brought in London to replace Mitrovic this summer. And some breaking news from Man City as well, just before I finish, JB, and I'll ask you for your thoughts on this, and anyone else your thoughts on this as well. Man City's Chilean goalkeeper Claudio Bravo, who's been acting as backup to Edison, has been ruled out for foreseeable future, it looks like, and he's going to have scans in Manchester today and is flying to Barcelona on Thursday for further tests after suffering a ruptured Achilles tendon in training on Monday, which means 20-year-old Daniel Grimshaw will act as first team backup to Edison. This season they've already lost Kevin De Bruyne through injury for 3 months, the injury in training. They've now lost the number 2 goalkeeper with Claudio Bravo. Do you think that Man City need to contact the Premier League and see if they can sign an emergency goalkeeper? JB and anyone else listening? Because I think they do. So I feel like Grimshaw won't be enough backup because he's not had enough experience.
Well, we don't know, Russ, but I'm sure. Hopefully, they'll be able to use the loan signing. But we're coming to the end of the programme. Thank you very much indeed, Russ, and thank you for your insight tonight. And you've done a real good commentary today. And I have to say, you did a fantastic job, and we look forward to hearing you again on the YouTube channel. It's nice to know that there's more than one voice on this channel, and there's plenty of voices that have been raised to us tonight, and we have to thank everybody for their comments as well. So thank you, Russ.
No, it's JB. Thank you very much for letting me do this. I just want to say a very big thank you to Tattoo Terror, who's been getting involved tonight. Mike as well. We made Mike Horniman. We're with him on an internet radio station as well, playing music. If you want to know where that is, message me on Facebook. Russ Vernon is my Facebook name, and you can message me on there, see where I DJ. Also, thank you to you two as well. To my mate Brad, if he's listened and not got involved tonight, thank you, Brad. Kevin Benson, thank you for getting involved tonight. Hope you enjoyed my commentary despite the Crystal Palace defeat this evening. Also, I want to say a big thank you to Panini as well for getting involved in helping me out with and Mike for helping me out with the man of the match situations as well. Let me know how many votes the players got each as well. I also want to say a big thank you to you, JB, for giving me this opportunity to bring the full match commentary to the listeners on your YouTube channel, and I really enjoyed the commentary, my first commentary of the season tonight, and hopefully I'll have plenty more during the season. I know I will, but hopefully I can bring you more commentary at the weekend, probably hopefully either the lunchtime kick-off or the evening kick-off, depending when JB is available and which one he's available to do so. So stick around, you may hear my voice on Saturday, whether it's the lunchtime kick-off in the Premier League or the evening one in the Premier League. Me and JB will sort that out behind the scenes, and we'll get involved, and I'll get involved with you for that one as well. So I'm going back over to JB to finish off the proceedings tonight. But from myself in the commentary box here at Selhurst Park, thank you very much for listening, and I want to say thank you, JB, once again for letting me be a part of this JB Clara YouTube channel, 2018-19 football commentaries, and I hope Chris is back with us very, very soon. Hope you're doing okay, Chris. Take care, mate. Bye bye for now, everyone. Back over to JB. Ta-ra.
Thank you very much indeed. So there we are. Thanks to Russ and thanks to everyone else, as he's also mentioned there. Chris, if you're listening, we're all with you, mate. So and we hope to have you back on board as soon as we can. But great performance from Liverpool. Lots of controversy. Something that might have just rocked, that might have floated Jimmy McIlroy's boat. And I want to just say thank you very much to all the tributes that have been paid to Jimmy McIlroy. So Liverpool went in and they go joint top of the Premier League along with 4 other teams at the top of the Premier League. But I want to finish with a tribute to Jimmy McIlroy from the Burnley Football Club themselves. Their tribute to a real icon of the game. We'll see you on. Before we do, just to point you in the direction of commentaries, I'll be back on Thursday with full match commentary of Olympiacos against Burnley in the Europa League. So join me around about 7:30 for that one, and then we'll give you full details of the weekend's commentaries nearer the time. But to end tonight, we're going to end with a little tribute from Burnley Football Club to the great Jimmy McIlroy. He wasn't. They said it was. He said. The football club tweeted and said in a statement he was their greatest ever player. I've got a better word than that, and it's got 4 letters in. A true icon. From me, JB, Russ, and everybody on the JB Claret team, have a very good evening, and I'll leave you now with a tribute to the brain of Burnley. Jimmy McIlroy, MBE.
A lot of people talk loosely about club loyalty. Now, what does that mean to you?
Club loyalty to me isn't being loyal to the bricks and the mortar and the grass around here. It's being loyal to the people who run this club.
A talented ball player whose football shows all the imagination of the Irish.
Jimmy McIlroy was the best player I have known in world football. Jimmy McIlroy, MBE. How does that sound?
Absolutely over the moon.
All who saw Jimmy McIlroy were mesmerised by his talent.
The ball goes to 22-year-old Jimmy McIlroy, Burnley's Irish international. He takes a tumble as he shoots, but it's a goal.
We show our loyalty by giving 100% effort on the field. But this is only for the effort that's given to us or shown towards us off the field.